And who wouldn't want to play in the biggest club in the Americas? Who knows, right? She says it's like the Shopee version of Real Madrid, right? That's right. Who wouldn't want to play for the biggest club in Brazil and the Americas? Yeah. No. In the future, we could call it the biggest in the world. Flamengo already has the most fans. Who wouldn't want to play there? And now, once again, and there was even some trash talk, my friends, trash talk. Hey guys, greetings Flamengo fans. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're new here, please follow, like, and share on all platforms. On YouTube, subscribe below and turn on notifications with the bell. Leave a like on the video. It looks like YouTube is starting to recommend again, starting to send notifications again. I've already noticed, guys, it's impressive when the whole mess starts over there, right? Ukraine, right? Then the mess starts over there in Iran, all that stuff. Man, it's impressive. It seems like YouTube only wants to recommend this kind of content to people, stuff that scares people, all of that. It's impressive, or maybe people are looking for that. Impressive, but it's okay. Let's discuss something positive. Soccer. Some will dismiss it as bread and circuses. I prefer my bread and circuses and to live peacefully thinking about soccer rather than, oh, the stress of soccer is losing or winning or whatever. Instead of all this craziness in the world, right? Obviously, we prepare ourselves for the issue of AI. We prepare ourselves for a series of things that are happening. Now it's a trend. Everyone is talking about it. People getting younger, not aging and all that, peptides. That's all anyone talks about. I'm actually, obviously, extremely curious about the advances in technology and medicine. All of this makes me very curious. In fact, yesterday, the story I was following, and in fact, important people from giant tech companies have already confirmed it. They're making robots with nanotechnology that can, remember the T-1000 from Terminator, the one that liquefies, right? He's liquid, right? So they're making robots like that which can help us in technology, in medicine. They can even go inside our bodies, enter our bodies as nanorobots and do with nanotechnology liquid, right? Do everything they need to do and all that. Rejuvenate, fix things. So man, that's it. We really like to talk about this, but it's impressive that there are certain topics, right? When some situation starts happening in the world, they just want to recommend this to us. It seems like it's to increase fear, increase despair, and yeah, Nabili is saying that it works, that even I get sucked in. Now, we also have an interesting situation here to talk to you about. I think it's very important that we don't forget about God. Always pray. Remember that God has a greater purpose in our lives and that things, even with difficulties, with what's happening in the world, we can still be blessed with something this precious, a child, right? Who's here with me going for a walk, living his first moments, just 5 months old, and for us to have the opportunity at 47 years old to have a child is magical. Guys, here's the thing. Let's go. I want to invite you. Also, to get to know our sponsors, Haroldo's Caravan is there in the pinned comment. It's also always in the description. You can get in touch with them. The ticket is included, okay? Package with a ticket included at Maracanã, plus Caravana do Haroldo's host service. Also, just to remind you that besides Caravana do Haroldo's host service, you can also buy packages to follow Flamengo outside Brazil, all right? And all over Brazil as well, in the Copa do Brasil and the Brasileirão. Following along with Haroldo's Caravan. And remember that you can lose weight with Mais Cabelo. Man, check out Mais Cabelo right now because they're going to give you amazing support. They won't let you lose your hair. You'll lose weight, and on top of that, you'll be taking care of your scalp without losing your hair. And most importantly, guys, everything is done with medical supervision, keeping your health in check, okay? So I'll always leave it there for you. The QR code, the link for you to access Mais Cabelo and the Mais Slim Weight Loss Program. Well, let's go. We can't forget about YouTube shopping either, right? YouTube shopping, where you can get Flamengo merch, including this new Flamengo tracksuit here. All Flamengo products, the new Tetra watch, and everything else. Sorry for starting Flamengo news a bit late. I wanted to chat and have this talk with you guys right at the beginning. about everything that's going on. I know a lot of people like it, right, for us to have this conversation. But now we're going to get to the news about Alexandro right away. I don't like beating around the bush, so I'll bring the news. What? What's happening to your eye? Oh, okay, all right. Here's the news about Alexandro. You know I don't beat around the bush like most YouTube channels do. Not just Flamengo ones. People put a topic in the title but only discuss it at the end of the video. No, I talk about the news I put in the title. I talk about it in my first story. So let's go. Alexandro, who is a Flamengo youth product and is currently playing for Lille in France. In an interview with Case TV, the defender who plays for Lille and the Brazilian national team revealed that he wants to return to Flamengo. My whole family, my wife and I, we all dream of going back to Brazil, and our priority is our Mengão. I've made it clear that our priority is Mengão. But that's how it is. We know how things work, right? He made it clear that it also depends on Flamengo wanting to sign, making an offer and all that. Now, what's most interesting is the jab he took at Palmeiras. I got some funny inquiries, I won't mention the name, a green team. Come play here. And a bunch of Flamengo fans. You're Flamengo, aren't you? Don't do this to us. It's nice. It shows their affection for me. Even though I never played for the professional team, I always showed my affection for the team, right? Even though he never played for Flamengo, he always showed affection, called himself a fan, and said he wants to return to Flamengo. Now he reaffirms it, mentions his family wants to come back to Brazil, and jokes about it. That there were some funny offers, funny inquiries that he received. In other words, Palmeiras tried to sign him, made inquiries with Alexandro. Wow, man. Are you kidding? Flamengo made inquiries with Alexandro, right? And he took a jab. He said, man, the green team making inquiries with Alexandro. The guy is a Flamengo fan, man. He's not going to act like a delivery guy. No way. You know who the delivery guy is, right? You know, right? That's it. So, and then people were saying to him, you're Mengão, right? Don't do this to us, and so on. He says, it's cool. It shows their affection for me. I never played for the professional team, but I've always supported them. We'll see how things are in a few years. Since he still has a contract, he can't comment. Now Flamengo can approach and sign him. Flamengo has already signed Vitão. There are players in the defensive sector who might even decide to retire at the end of the year. Danilo is at an age where he could retire. I don't know, I hope not, because he plays really well. Even with his age, he's also a player for the Brazilian national team. But Flamengo is able to go after another name, okay? Look, it's worth mentioning that Alexandro started his career in Flamengo's youth academy in 2018. He transferred to European football and joined Lille in 2022, and he remains at the French club to this day. In addition, he was called up a few times by Carlo Ancelotti for the Brazilian national team. The fans' comments are really positive, man. People are applauding. Who wouldn't want to play for the world's biggest team? Then people are saying, welcome Bernardo Silva, another name that came up as a possibility, but that's impossible, right, guys? A guy who earns 15 million euros a year. The guy who's being scouted by Juventus and Barcelona. It's very hard for Bernardo Silva to come to Flamengo. Jose Boto told us that it's very interesting, obviously. Even at the age of 31, he's older than the players Flamengo usually signs. It's very interesting for Flamengo, but it's very difficult. There's interest in him in Europe. It's very difficult, okay? Anthony is saying here, either he retires, he's going to retire, sign the kid. I also think it's worth starting to look at that already. Junior Cruz today, unfortunately, doesn't have a spot, only if a starter leaves. Flamengo doesn't have to guarantee a spot for anyone. No, Flamengo needs to have high-level players. Then the coach can rotate the squad like Leonardo Jardim is doing. Alves Aguinaldo comes to play for Flamengo, to be happy at Flamengo, to be a champion. A lot of people say he's good. Triplo Fox says he's a good player. With Danilo leaving, a spot opens up. It's impressive, right? Flamengo, man, when a player leaves or retires, there's already another one who's also a Flamengo fan like Danilo, who gets emotional, who always dreamed of playing for Flamengo, who also dreams of playing for Flamengo. Being a Flamengo fan is awesome, right? Everyone wants to play for our team. Did you catch what Vitão said in my interview 2 weeks ago? And Vitão said he got emotional when Felipe said, I'm waiting for you there. Everyone wants to play for Flamengo, man. It's a dream, even for people born in Rio Grande do Sul who weren't Flamengo fans from the start. I don't know, I didn't ask Vitão that, but even if he's not a Flamengo fan at heart, the guy knows how big Flamengo is and wants to play for Flamengo, okay? It's Fabricio Elias sending this. This kid is awesome, my man. My man Laquino, this kid is awesome. Okay, yeah. Look, I'm Fernando Gaston, the guy joking around on my Instagram video. With that music, Tom, I thought it was some sad news. No, it wasn't sad news. It was good news, okay? Yeah, and then Fernando Gaston sent this in. I'm a Flamengo fan, but it's not true that everyone wants to play for Flamengo. Some players have turned Flamengo down. But there are, yes, players who want to play for Flamengo. When I say everyone, I mean the most important players, right? In world football, Flamengo is often mentioned, and many talk about playing for them, but few achieve it. Now, for example, the delivery guy is at Palmeiras, but he used to say he dreamed of coming back to Flamengo. He really wanted to come back to Flamengo. So, my friends, some players claim they don't want to play for Flamengo, but everyone actually does. Everyone wants to play for Flamengo. I truly believe that. They'll say it due to rivalry and such. For example, look at Arias, who joined the green team. The delivery guy once wanted to play for Flamengo, but when he saw no chance there, he joined the green team. People claim they don't want to. Oh, Arias, I don't want to play for Fluminense's rival. Then he joined Palmeiras, which is among the top 3 with Fluminense. Still a rival regardless. You get it? But he didn't want to play for Flamengo, a Rio de Janeiro rival. So, it's understandable that people think not everyone wants to play, but the truth is that everyone has a dream. They don't reveal it, but they have a dream. And we notice that the vast majority of soccer players around the world want to play for Flamengo. Look at the dominant villain. Flamengo has taken the lead in the history of the round-robin Brasileirão. My friends, this is huge. 10 years ago, not even that. 7 years ago, before Jorge Jesus started doing the crazy things we saw happen right before our eyes. In 2019, we couldn't imagine Flamengo as 4-time Libertadores champions and Flamengo as the leader in the round-robin era, which proves that some teams are paper champions. Palmeiras are the kings of inventing made-up titles. Afterwards, Palmeiras is the champion. After the round-robin format started, Palmeiras practically didn't win anything. They won a few championships here and there, but Flamengo is the leader in the round-robin format. And Palmeiras boasts about titles won by facts, my friends. We know very well, during a time when there were Palmeiras supporters in the CBF, they handed out made-up titles that were actually for the Copa do Brasil, or even less, the Copa dos Campeões. They made it look like it was the Brazilian championship and just handed them out. So Flamengo never received a title like that, okay, from the CBF, never. They really like to talk about Flamengo, but the team that got a made-up title, even in the same year, Palmeiras has 2 Brazilian championships in the same year. Where have you ever seen that? 2 in the same year. So, let's go. Adding up all the editions of the national championship since 2003, Flamengo reached 1,455 points, surpassing São Paulo, who was the leader with 1,454, the top 5. Flamengo, 1,455. São Paulo, 1,454. Palmeiras, 1,355. International, 1,322. The top 5 teams with the most wins in the history of the Brasileirão in the round-robin era. Flamengo, 404 wins. São Paulo, 402. Palmeiras, 383. International 371, Fluminense 360 guys. This is really unbelievable. Flamengo is huge. Flamengo has a beautiful history in the Brazilian Championship. It's the biggest team in the Brazilian Championship, and people keep saying we're the biggest in Brazil. Made up. When there was a Palmeiras supporter in the CBF who handed the title to you. Liar. That title was equivalent to the Copa do Brasil. What nonsense. But it wasn't the Brazilian Championship. In fact, they gave you 2 Brazilian titles in the same year. 2 in the same year. Okay? And we had the guys over at Sport TV, Andre Rizek, Eric Faria, and Denilson, commenting on whether Flamengo is the favorite or not, whether they're better than Palmeiras or not. And there's a very interesting point about that. The absence of some players... Is the absence of some players felt by Flamengo or not? Is it felt by Leonardo Jardim's team? So Andre Rizek said this. Today, Flamengo faced a team that has an excellent midfield. Bahia's strength is in midfield. Flamengo was missing two starting midfielders. And you don't even miss them. Jorginho and Pulgar are out of the team. Nobody even mentioned it. In any other squad in Brazil, if you lose three starting midfielders, Carrascal too, right? Carrascal too. And then you feel it. Flamengo doesn't feel it. Then Eric Faria, my partner Eric Faria, he's a Flamengo supporter, right? The difference between Flamengo and Palmeiras is, I think Palmeiras has a very good squad and it's younger. So, I think the big secret for Flamengo to reach the end of the year at a high level competing is managing these guys' minutes properly. And I agree. The famous rotation that Leonardo Jardim talked about, almost everyone in Flamengo's starting lineup is over 30 years old. So, if Flamengo can balance this logistical and physical issue throughout the season, making sure the guys don't get too worn out, I think Flamengo's squad is better. I think it has a lot more quality. Now, if you stretch things too much with the same players, they get worn out by the end of the year. Because in fact, it's a team with an older average age. And Flamengo, in theory, plays 70, 75 games a year. Many of them leave for international breaks to play for their national teams. That increases the workload for these athletes. For the World Cup, Flamengo will have between 7 and 9 players called up. That's a lot, going 40 days without those 9 players. No one in Brazil will have 9 players at the World Cup. There you have Andre Rizek. But Eric, returning to the squad discussion, try this exercise. Take the 2 defensive midfielders out of any team in Brazil and face Bahia. Flamengo didn't even feel it. And then Eric replied, that's why I say the issue is the age. Leonardo Jardim has been doing that, managing minutes in a very competent way. And then Denilson added, he doesn't have this thing of swapping out all 11 at once. Oh, load management. Flamengo can rotate the squad easily. So this reflection is important. On top of all that, you can see that everyone is noticing that Flamengo, besides having a better squad, also has an older squad. And it needs this rotation. This management that Jardim is doing very competently, that's really important. So that's it, guys. I want to invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below. Turn on notifications, the little bell, leave a nice like on the video. And before you head out, take a look at our videos. There are a lot of good videos, a lot of cool interviews. There's the interview with Vitão. You can look for it here too. I'll make a playlist with these interviews, with these great moments. And also just to remind you, before you leave here, man, go over to Placar, subscribe to Placar. I'll be participating at noon on Placar's show. Noon here, right? 1 o'clock in Brazil. So set a reminder for the 1 o'clock show in the afternoon, Placar Aberto, and get your Flamengo products here on YouTube Shopping. You really help Mengo a lot. And Aunt Leila, thank you. See, Leila Pereira, you called Flamengo the Real Madrid of Shopee. Shopee made a Flamengo Shopee jersey, and it's breaking sales records. The jersey that Flamengo made was created based on this joke, Flamengo from Shopee. It's a sales record. It keeps selling. It's running out. Thank you, Aunt Leila. You filled Flamengo's and Shopee's coffers. What can you do? You want to sponsor Flamengo? It helped a lot. Talk more about Flamengo's sponsors. Do you want me to give you the list, Aunt Leila? Blow a kiss over your shoulder.